feels like everyone is listening to music again, and especially R&B music. I'm really like happy that R&B music is having the resurgence, in my personal opinion, that it's having, because we've been here and we've been doing it.
Would you think about doing a song called Chewed Up? Big Boy's Neighborhood.
Boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ella Mai, welcome back to the neighborhood, my love.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to see you.
I'm always excited to be here.
You're always good energy.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're
Thank
always
you.
good energy, and you don't get caught up in nothing.
Yeah,
That's what I like about it. You know what I'm saying? Ella Mai, do you drive out here? Do you drive?
Yeah.
Or you have a driver?
I can drive.
Really?
I mean, both, yeah.
Oh, really though? When was the last time you pumped gas?
That's a good question. I can't remember. Not that I don't. Not because I don't, because that sounds crazy. Not because I don't. I just haven't.
You have an electric car or?
No. I don't have an electric
there it
car.
is. Because we do this thing like, when was the last time? I probably may ask you a little bit more down the line, but yeah. But that's.
Do you have an electric car?
This is my first one.
Do you like it?
I think I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like everybody who I ask who's transitioned from gas to electric at first.
No, I'm still here. I didn't transition.
No. Transition from gas to electric.
Who told you something?
That's what I said to you.
Oh, okay. Oh, gas to electric. Oh, okay. Sorry.
I literally said from gas to electric.
Yeah, after my mind went crazy.
At first, they're like, I don't know. But then I guess once you get used to it, they're like, oh, this is actually kind of the best thing ever.
I just don't do that automatic car driving stuff yet.
You drive manual?
I just gotta I can't, let the wheel go. And like Ani that work with us, she's all in the Tesla and automatic driving. You ever been in one of them Waymo cars?
No.
Yeah, see, I ain't trying to do that.
Yeah, I'm a little bit scared. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, let me crash my own car.
I need to know that there's somebody, at the very least, if something goes wrong, that can try.
Yeah.
That can try and get it together.
And let it just be my fault. Like, it's too much technology. We giving away too much now.
It's getting, I mean, I guess they said that when the internet was becoming a thing too, though. So I guess maybe we'll just learn how to adjust.
Let me tell you, man. AI, I love what's going on with it, but now I'm even more super duper questioning everything.
I think everyone looks at nowadays are like, wait, is this real or is this fake?
Yeah,
it's quite a weird. We're in a weird time.
Yes, man. There's these things that pop up. It's that song "Forever Young," and it's like the old person with the younger them, and they're walking. And I don't comment on nothing. I'm like, dude, I just comment on somebody's page. I'm like, I'm getting tired of these. If I start seeing more Nipsey with Kobe and shit like that, I'm like, dude, like, please, man. But you're here today, right?
I'm here. This is me. Cool. I am the real thing.
I don't want nobody like, oh, she AI'd in.
This is me. This is me.
So, new body of music for you.
Yes.
And the new body of music is "Do You Still Love Me?"
Yes. Do You Still Love Me?
Why the title? Which, Do You Still Love Me?
The title was like, we didn't actually come up with the title till the very, very end, kind of. Like we had all of the songs and everything together, and Mustard and I were like really struggling to find a title for it. And I think we were just kind of overthinking it. But we knew what story we wanted to tell from the very beginning. So I think finding the right title was like just that much more important to us to make sure we told the story. And we played a lot with perspective in this album. So when we came up with "Do You Still Love Me," Mustard was actually trying to advocate for a different title. I actually can't even remember what it was. And he was explaining why he thought that should be the title. And he was like, oh, because when you say this, you're kind of asking the question like, do you still love me? Do you blah blah? And I was like, wait. I was like, that's it. I was like, "Do You Still Love Me" is the title. And then he was like, wait, that's kind of hard. And then it just became a thing. But
whose credit is that though? Because he just said it. Then you're like, that's the title. So I would just take the credit too. I'd be like, Mustard, I titled the album.
Nah, I mean, Mustard titled it. If we're
not
being
really,
honest.
He was just saying stuff.
He was just saying stuff. So it was a collaborative effort, like the album is.
And
really.
y'all work like that together.
Yes, we do. We absolutely do. So we can both take credit for it. But yeah, we played on perspective, and just I think that question is a real question that you can ask yourself. You can ask somebody else. They can ask you. And I think that's really what the album is just different perspectives of love and a relationship. So when it came up in conversation and Mustard said it, I was like, that's perfect.
How does it feel with a new body of music though? Because you're one of the artists that you got singles, but your albums. And that's what I say about certain things. Like, albums tell a story for me. And I like listening to a body of music. But with the success of having albums and having singles, how do you go into recording now? Like, do you know how to get out of your own way? And I ask this a lot of times too, you become competition with yourself.
Yeah.
Do you know how to get out of your own way and like, man, the formula was just make good music?
Yeah, I think I did that I think I've done that the best on this album,
Mm-hmm.
I will say. Like my sophomore album, I was like so in my head and like, oh my God, do I need to create another boot up? Do I need to create another trip?
Right.
Like, where do I go? What do I talk about? What do I even do? I was
Are
so
those
in my
scary
head.
too? I mean, not scarier than who, but when you have that success,
Yeah.
and then people say, "Oh man, one's too many, 1,000 is not enough." You start
Mm-hmm.
chasing. Was there a formula? Was it? Did you have that going into your sophomore album?
Going into my sophomore, I knew there wasn't a formula because I knew that like when we made Boot Up and when we made Trip, we really were just, there wasn't any, like there weren't really many eyes on me at that time. So there wasn't a
Right.
formula. We were just really making what felt good. So I knew going into my sophomore, like I need to just make what feels good. But also I was definitely like, the sophomore curse is a thing.
Yeah.
And having such a successful debut album, I was like, how, what do I even do? And Mustard was the one that sat me down and was like, yo, like, just do what you do. Like, don't come in here and think about the numbers or think about anything other than making music, because once you start to do that, that's when you really can't concentrate and the best stuff doesn't come out. So I did that with my sophomore, but also I was making my sophomore album during COVID. So like it took a lot longer because we did also, I was like, I don't know, do we put out music? Do we not? Like everyone was.
Yeah, the world, we didn't know what was going on.
Yeah. So it was just a weird time anyway, on top of the fact that I was like in my head about it being a sophomore album. So now going into my third, I really said to myself, like, I just want to go into the studio and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just want to remember why it is that I love to make music. I want to be at peace. I want to be calm. And like, if I go into the studio today and I make something that I don't really love, it's not the end of the world. I'm going to come back tomorrow and we're going to try again. And I think that was really my mindset during this album process. And it was the best one, I think, in terms of the way it felt for me. Of all my albums, just because I felt free. I felt like I was just like, I'm doing this because I love this. And that really is what's important.
And feeling free, because there's also a freedom on the first project.
Mm-hmm.
And then you say there's a freedom with this one.
Yeah.
Does the freedom compare?
It's a different type of freedom, because the freedom on my first one was freedom, but it was freedom because as I said, there weren't as many eyes on me.
Right.
But it was like, the debut, there's a lot of pressure with the debut also, and there's also like I hadn't been in the studio as long as I have now, so like I was, I feel like I was relying a lot more on other people, as opposed to now I feel like my songwriting has come a ways away than my debut, and I was very involved in my debut, don't get me wrong, but I just think that I've had a lot more experience now, so I know what I want to say more in a better way, if that makes sense. So the freedom was different. It was freedom with the debut for sure, but this one was just kind of like I'm 10 years in now, which is crazy to say.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm 10 years in now.
Okay, 10 years professionally.
Yeah, so I met Mustard in 2015.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, I met Mustard in 2015, and we first put out music in 2016. So I'm 10 years in, yeah. And Boot Up was 2017. So
Jesus Christ,
2017 and
I need to
2018.
get my shit together.
I'm getting old. So 10 years in, I just feel like I feel super confident. I feel like I know exactly what I want to say. I want to sound like I'm over 30 now, which I think there's a click with women over 30. I'm a mom now, which completely changes your perspective.
I just found out you were a mom.
Really?
Like how long ago?
Like 20 minutes ago?
Probably 10 minutes. Well, yeah, probably like 15 minutes ago. Congratulations to you. How young is your little one?
He's 1.5.
Oh, he's a little boy?
Yeah.
Congratulations to you. Has motherhood changed you?
Oh my God. In like ways
I need
could
to get on
have
social
never imagined.
media more or some shit.
It's not even,
Did you know she had a baby?
on social media.
Yeah, but not through social media, because I just looked at some.
Okay,
like
well, congratulations to you.
I never like announced that I was pregnant or that I was having a baby.
Were we sitting down at any time and you were pregnant?
No.
What was that? Oh, okay.
No, I was actually recording this album while I was pregnant.
Does
and
that
postpartum.
change how you, and not like, oh, it changed me, but even the way you do music or position music?
I think in terms of my sessions, that was another reason why I just wanted it to be super calm and have fun. I didn't want to be stressed. That's not a time that you want to be stressed in. I wanted to have just the people around me that I felt the most comfortable with, like people that I really, really trust, because it was also intentional. Like I didn't really want people to know, not because it was like a secret, but I just feel like that's
Right,
a
right.
sake space. You know what I mean?
And then the lady at the grocery store, it's not like she'd be like, I'm pregnant.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
just
let her have it.
But yeah, it definitely also made me feel like, okay, I have to really be, and I've always been intentional with what I say in my music, but I really have to be intentional, like even more so now, because now, you know, my son, I don't want to embarrass him when he gets
Right.
older. So yeah, it's been a journey. I will say he's only 1.5, like I said, so I feel like it's just gonna keep getting better and better. But it's honestly not something that I ever even like envisioned for myself. But now that I am a mom,
Yeah.
I like can't see myself without my son. And I'm not a mom that's like, well, my son you to death, because I hate that when the only thing people have to talk about is their kids.
Okay, well, let me put my pictures of my kids. But you know what's wild about that, too, is I thought that I was living life. You know what I'm saying? And not crazy, but living life.
Yeah.
Until I had my kids.
Yeah.
And then I realized, I was like, what was I doing? And I always tell my kids, I was like, man, what was I doing before? And I was like, you know what? I was preparing for you to get here.
Yeah.
You know, and I had my kids at an age where it was perfect timing for me. I had the right person in my life. I was ready to receive it. You know, and then there's this balance that you got to figure out now. You know, and I always say it's the enough. So like, how are you, Ella Mai, enough for as an artist for us? The enoughs with being female enough, being street enough, being, you know, in the recording business enough. Then there's that parent enough now. So that's probably the trickiest balance of not wanting to, you know. I know you don't want to just leave.
No, it's definitely like there are a lot of sacrifices that you have to make, and I think that's anyone with any job that you have. But especially because we're on the road, we travel a lot, and typically if you work if you work in an office building, let's just say, you don't travel as much. You definitely can, but like being on the road and being in a different city every day is not normal. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a lot of sacrifice, and I think I'm just now stepping into that because I'm now back at work. Like I said, I was recording the album while I was pregnant and postpartum, so a lot of it I was in the same space, and I could be around him. So now I'm having to navigate that. And I've never been I've taken vacation since he's been born, without him. And I've never felt like, oh my God, I can't leave him. But that's just because I know I have people around me that I can trust to look after him. And we have a lot of family.
You have a village.
And a lot of help. And that's what it really takes. I'm not doing it by myself by any means. So I think that really, really has helped me to just kind of compartmentalize. Like, okay, cool. It's fine for me to, especially work, but it's also fine for me to take a break, for me to then be the best mom I can be.
Yeah, my dad did the same. He took a cool break.
My dad did the same.
Yeah, he never came back.
Yeah,
come on. Never came back. I'm glad we call it a break now.
Why you gotta bring it up?
Yeah. I don't know if he went on vacation. I thought he went to his mistress' house or something. Whatever it was. Whatever it was.
We're in the same boat.
Now the album, is this what I'm looking at with the album?
Yes.
Is that the album cover where you're kind of outside and somebody's
that's
peeping
the back.
out?
Oh well, yeah, they're both. So which one are you talking? Are you looking at me in the chair?
There's one where you're being looked at the chair, and then the other is you,
me
your
looking
perspective.
Through.
Yeah.
So the front cover is me in the chair,
right,
and the back cover is me actually looking through
Clever.
the blinds. So it also plays on what I was saying to you about perspective. Like when you look at the front cover, while we were recording this album, we played a lot on perspective, and you look at the front cover, you see somebody peeking through the blinds, but they're looking at me. So you wouldn't necessarily think that it's me looking at myself. You'd think it was a nosy neighbor or somebody trying to peek into my life a little bit more. And then you go to the back cover and it's actually me looking through the blinds at myself. So I was playing on perspective with the do you still love me, and me asking myself, me asking somebody else. So yeah, that's what the cover is about. Shout out to my creative director, Belle.
Belle did that shit.
She did.
Now, is the track listing between the blinds so that's the way it's coming out?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Do you know what I love about that too, Ella Mai, is that we don't get that as much now. You know what I'm saying? It's you don't get to album covers and creativity. So when I saw that and I saw the track listing, I was like, dude, this reminds me of what music used to feel like.
Yeah.
And that was done with a lot of purpose from you and your team as well, with you and Belle and the team.
Yes, I think that I wanted to just really create a world. I feel like one thing that I haven't done thus far, and I think that I love my debut album and I love my sophomore album, don't get me wrong, they're marked in my memory and in my life forever, of course. But one thing I really wanted to do with this particular album, because it feels very personal to me. I wanted to create a world where it felt like you were kind of diving a little bit deeper into me as a person. So again, looking through the blinds and kind of looking at me in a different perspective than you have on my debut and my sophomore, because I do duck off a little bit and I am a super private person.
Yeah.
But I feel like I just have a lot more to say now. Being a mom and being over 30 and just like as a woman, I think I've just grown so much. And I was like, I was really trying to make sure that I poured a little bit more of myself into this album. So it was definitely
give out your age?
I'm 31.
Okay, so
yeah,
going into the new decade, though, and I always tell people that it's wild because even when you look back and you say, oh, I met Mustard, was it 2015?
Yeah.
So even when you look at
20.
those, yeah. So think about, and I'm so glad you said you were 20 because I talk to people and I tell people, Ella Mai, I'm like, think about what that, and I tell people about the decades. Think about what your 20 to 30 was.
Yeah. It was actually lit. I will say I had a great 20 to 30.
Right.
Like I
But think about
change it for
not
the world.
being signed.
But yeah,
getting
my life was
signed.
completely different.
Yeah, and by age you weren't a mom until that decade. And that's a lot of growth in that decade. And now this 30 to 40 decade.
I was like, if 20 to 30 was that, then my 30s to my 40s are going to be incredible.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for them. Like, I'm not somebody that like is scared of age. I know a lot of people kind of don't like to age. But I think there's something beautiful in it, just like really becoming yourself. Like, I think if you spoke to the 20-year-old me that like was just about to meet Mustard, I would have told you that I don't know it all, but like I thought I knew it all for sure. And then I like look back at myself as a 30, and now I'm 31, and I look back at myself as a 21-year-old, and I'm like, I didn't know a thing.
Yeah,
I had no clue.
Yeah.
I had absolutely no clue. So like the just the way you look at life is just so different. The things that were important to me when I was 20 and 21, like I don't even think I think about them now as a 31-year-old. Like it's just your life experiences and where you go and what you see every day and what then becomes normal that wasn't normal. It's actually really, really crazy to think about when I think about myself as a 20-year-old or a 21-year-old. And I'm really grateful, honestly, to still be here 10 years later, because that's not an easy thing to do either.
And especially you're lucky. God, no matter how blessed and how talented you are, you're lucky and blessed if you get that one. And then to get a sophomore.
Yes.
And now to have your third album. This is like, and especially in a business where everybody, the fan base is fickle. They love you today, they can hate you tonight. And the cancel culture, and the world is different on their tongues right now, and they have been. And then this device right here, I mean, it's some of the most negative stuff can come from that. So when you can fast forward and say, man, I'm on album number 3.
Yeah.
That right there is an accomplishment within itself.
Thank you. Yeah.
And I know I probably asked you this before, Ella Mai, is why did you trust Mustard? And I remember asking you this, but now somebody can look at Mustard and then say, oh, Mustard. And there's so many accolades. And Mustard had them then, but Mustard was like, he was like ours.
Yeah.
Now Mustard is the world's.
Yeah.
But it was like ours. We knew.
Yeah.
What made you build with Mustard?
I think that when I think back to the very first studio session that I did with Mustard, I had no manager. I went to the studio with my friends because I was singing songs in my bedroom and Mustard came across it on Instagram, and I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but like I'm not gonna pass up this opportunity of going to the studio with him.
Were you in?
I was in New York. I was in New York, yeah. So, and I just happened to be in New York, and then he was going to be in Philly for Made in America. So he was like, I'm going to come to New York and we do a session and like see how it goes. And obviously when I think about it now, that session could have turned into absolutely nothing. It could have been the 3 songs that we made that night could have, I could have been the demo and it could have been given to someone else. To think what started from those 3 songs, like to now, 11 years later is crazy. But I think what really stuck out to me when I first worked with Mustard, there's a couple things, but one, he wasn't super overbearing. So like this being my first time going into the studio with like a major producer, I was like, oh, maybe I just have to go in and kind of just like listen to what they say.
Let them lead.
Like, let me, okay, they tell me to do this, they tell me to do that. Like I really didn't know what to expect. And from the moment I walked in there, he was like, look, I'm gonna play you some stuff. We can build some stuff if you want to, but I really just want to see how you work. Like he was like, I really like your videos. Like I want to see what it is that you hear when you listen to these or what you come up with. And I thought that was like a really, maybe it isn't a different approach, but to what I like thought in my head, I was like, oh, this is, I have the freedom to kind of do what I want. And whether he likes it or not is like, we'll deal with later. But like, okay, cool, I can be myself. And I think that was a real big indicator for me that like, this is somebody that I could work with and really be around because I can be myself. So we made those 3 songs that night and I left the session and I had no clue what was going to happen, but he seemed impressed, but I also didn't know if he was just like, didn't want to hurt my feelings. I had hardly been in the studio before. I had like just started songwriting the previous year. So I was like, this could go anyway. But then he was like, I want to get you out to LA. Like, I want to work more. I want to have more sessions. And like, everything kind of just fell into place that way. But he really gave me creative freedom and he was just super cool. He was so down to earth. He wasn't like over my shoulder, do this, do that. He was like, I just want to see you be you because that's what kind of drew me to you when I saw your Instagram videos and we'll take it from there type of thing. And that was really it. Like the rest is history. He
Did you almost not go?
No.
You know how sometimes you get in your own way?
No.
And it could be somebody like a friend, like, girl, don't go over there. You just knew.
I was like, I might be there early.
Right.
If I have to be there at 7 p.m., I will be there at 5 p.m. Yeah. I told my friends, let's go. We're not going to be late. We took the train. Like, I was like, I don't know what can come out of this, but I just had a really good feeling about it. And I was like, this is an opportunity of a lifetime for somebody who doesn't have I didn't have anything.
Had you been there with the almost before? Where it's like where somebody got in contact with you and you seen this, you're like, oh, this person just want to talk.
Yeah, I had a couple of those.
They're full of shit, or
I had a couple of those.
But this felt different.
Yeah, I had a couple of those that like, okay, we should do this. Like, okay, cool, let me get you out here and we can try this. But they all like kind of fell through. It never really happened. But also, I don't know. It just felt different with Mustard. And like I said, when I actually got to the studio, it made sense as to why it felt different because I think he really just genuinely did like really enjoy my videos and wanted to see, because he was also, like you said, he was you guys at that point. And he was Mustard, don't get me wrong. He had Billboard hits, he had huge songs, he was already Mustard for sure. But I feel like he was in a time of his life where he wanted to kind of expand. And he always tells me, he got awarded with the Vanguard Award the other day from Billboard during Grammy Week. And he was doing his speech and I was there with his family and I mean, like, I didn't expect to be in his speech, but he was like, I want to thank Ella for basically like teaching me things that I didn't really like. I was ready to expand, but like then working with an R&B artist, being so used to working with rap guys was completely different, and it helped me expand and grow and really like want to be better and do stuff outside of the box that I wasn't used to doing. And he's told me that before, but like to be in a speech like that with like all of the people that he feels like really made a difference in his career, it was really special to me because I look at Mustard as like, he changed my life. Right. So to know that we kind of feel the same way in that way, musically is just like, it's great. And besides the music, like, I know I could call Mustard at any time, and if I need anything, he'll be able to help me, or he'll be willing to help me. Like I spend Christmas with his family before Thanksgiving. Like it's more than that. That's my brother. That's my family. Yeah. And
he's an amazing guy.
He is.
And
really
he's an amazing, aside from just the talent, he's an amazing guy. And the thing that I love about him as well, when you're working on this album, at the time it's, untitled, there's a lot going on with Mustard and
he had
Kendrick
everything going on at that time.
So it's literally him coming back, but he knew how to lock in on the project. The world is calling his name, I'm pretty sure, this whole time where you two are recording.
Yeah, and that's why I'm forever grateful, honestly, because anytime I'm working on something, Mustard treats it as if it's his own. Like an Ella Mai album is also to him like a Mustard album, which this album absolutely is. He executive produced this album. And
did you as well? Or you what do you have other titles? And she was like, I guess, like, yeah.
I mean, no, technically no, like in the in the writing, but like, yeah, I think we all do if we make music. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's always gonna be there. He's always gonna make time for my stuff, and I really appreciate that because he had so much going on. Yeah. Like he really could have been like, you know what, put this on pause. We're gonna come back to this later. And he never did that. He always made time for me. So I'm forever indebted to Mustard. That's my brother for life, and I really, really am grateful.
When do you know the album is done?
Oh, Sometimes you just have to give it up, because otherwise we will be here for years and years and years. And we kind of were, because my last album is almost 4 years now, 4 years ago now. But
life is going fast.
It is. Time is really time is ticking.
Yeah, it is.
And I think that's something that I've learned. With my son being 1.5 already, I'm like,
yeah, like where did that go?
What is happening here? Like, it's crazy. Even when I think about the fact that I'm 31, I'm like, I feel like I was 18 yesterday. So I'm really learning to really live in the moment and try and like cherish everything as it comes. Because I think, especially when I think about my debut album, so much was happening and so much was new and exciting. And like, I just like was kind of going with the days and wasn't really paying attention to like what was really happening, because I felt like I didn't even realize what was happening at the time. And now I'm a bit older and I've like experienced all of that too. I'm like, damn, I really need to like live in the moment and really appreciate this stuff, because it can also be gone in a second.
Did you get a chance, because everything is kind of moving. Did you get a chance to kind of look at it too? Or
I think that while it was happening, I didn't.
Right.
But when I sat down to then record you're talking about my debut album, right?
Yeah.
Or just in general?
Yeah.
Yeah. With my debut album specifically, once I finished and was like about to head back into the studio to start the sophomore album, COVID happened. So I feel like I was kind of forced to sit down and look back. And I think we all were.
The world,
we all kind of just like sat down and was like, whoa, like everything is changing. But I think that was necessary, because so much happened in those years that I wasn't really like able to process at the time, because so much was happening, that once I sat down and I was like, whoa, like we really just basically checked off everything that I ever had on my wish list and my dream list. So like now we have to start over. I need to make a new list. And I'm forever grateful for that. But that again, like, so when I went into recording for this album, I was like, I don't even need a list of what it is that I want to check off or whatever. I just want to make music that feels amazing to me and that I love. And that was the list. And that's the list that I feel like I used to have as a little girl before I even got into the industry and everything else that comes with it. So yeah, this one's really, really special to me.
What about the album? Are there any collaborations? I mean, I could read
there are
things here.
0 features on this album.
That's crazy.
It's all me. It's all me. And it wasn't...
I love that too, because you know how sometimes you get a great collaboration, and it's great collabs out there. But sometimes I go see it live and I'm like, man, is such going to come out?
Yeah.
And like, this motherfucker in Paris. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, and don't get me wrong, I love to collaborate.
Right, yeah.
I always think that 2 brains are better than 1. Like, I think being put in a room with somebody or getting in a room with someone that like has their own ideas and hears things completely differently always brings out the best. But this album, as I said, it was like such a sacred time in my life, and I wanted it to be. It feels really vulnerable and really personal. I was like, I think this should just be me, and it just kind of happened that way also. And when we finished and we were listening back to everything, we were all on the same page, and like it doesn't really feel like it's missing anything in our opinion. So like I didn't want to just get features to get features just for the sake of like, oh, I have this person on my album or that person on my album. Like I'm very like, I want it to make sense and I want it to feel like we really wanted to do this, as opposed to like, oh yeah, I just want this because I can have so and so.
Right, because I can.
Yeah. So we got to the end of it and it was like, this feels complete. This doesn't feel like it's missing anything. So we were like, well, here it is. This is the album with no features, and not to be like, oh yeah, because I have an album with no features.
Yeah.
It's just because that's the way it ended up, and we loved it that way, so we just kept it that way.
When you go into the studio now, what's your process? Are you lights off? Are you
dim, not off, but dim?
Okay.
Yeah, I need to be able to see.
Right, yeah.
I'm like tripping over
Found
wires.
Mustard not even in there.
Yeah, I'm tripping over wires and stuff. I like it. I do like it dim. I like maybe a few candles.
Yeah.
I like the least amount of people possible. Like my studio session, if you want to be like fully entertained and have a party, don't come to my studio session. You will be bored out of your mind. But yeah, the least amount of people possible. So really just like whoever is actually working on the song, my engineer, the people that I write with, Mustard, any producer, if anyone's coming in and out. But like, yeah, I don't really even bring my friends to the studio like that, which is funny because I took my friends to the very first session that Mustard and I did, but it was really because I didn't have, I didn't want to go by myself. Yeah. No, we took the ride and the camaraderie. Yeah. But yeah, I just needed
I need you to go with me.
Yeah, I needed a little bit of comfort. But yeah, I like to have it completely stripped down so I can really just like focus. I think that I don't focus well in like chaos.
When you go to record vocals, are you reading or do you have to know the vocal?
A bit of both sometimes.
Oh, so you got to have a little light on in there, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, now that I write on my phone, so the phone has the light anyway. But for the most part, we write kind of the whole song before I go and put it down. So we would have repeated it a lot of times before we even get in there. So I might have the lyrics or I would put it down as a demo, like while I'm sitting in the room, and then I'll go in the booth so I can hear it also. So I don't necessarily need the lyrics, but we've repeated it so many times at that point that like I'm fully in that mode and I know exactly how I want to sound and how I want to say it. So yeah.
Do you get nervous upon release?
You know what's so funny? I was just talking to my makeup artist and my hairstylist this morning about this when I was getting ready. And I was like, I feel so calm about this release. Like, I don't know what it is. Like my makeup artist was like, it's because you're a mum now.
Yeah.
Like there's so many other things that happen and so much chaos in life that like this is just feels like, and I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's just because I've lived with this album for a little bit. So now that it's going to become the world's, and I'm super excited. Don't get me wrong. I really am excited. But like, I know my debut, I was like jumping off the walls, but that's the first time it ever happened. You know what I mean? So like you never really ever you don't ever get that feeling back. It is an amazing feeling. My sophomore, I was nervous because, and as much as I believed in it, I was nervous because of the sophomore curse. And this one, I don't know. I just feel like it's the era of my life that I'm in. I'm just like, I just feel happy. I feel calm. I feel excited. I'm grateful and I'm just ready. I'm ready for it to be out. But I'm also just like, once it's the world's, it's the world's.
Right.
There's nothing you can do. My job here is done. I can't lay any more vocals. I can't change anything. It's submitted. It's there. So like, I'm just like, okay, cool. We're just gonna let it go. And now it's everybody else's. And I have to go back and make some more so it can feel like it's mine. Just everything
that I see with kind of not like the rollout sounds so industry. The rollout. But even the things that we were allowed to see, and if you heard it, anything, but even just the way that the album, how I told you, like the track listing, like it's all geared towards hopefully not hopefully with the blessing of like, man,
100%.
I did everything.
100%.
I did the blood, I did the sweat, I did the tears, and I release you. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's just not in your control at that point. You can do everything you can try to do. You can work it. You can do all of that, and like you said, the rollout. But like, what is actually those files they're done. Yeah. So I really just kind of have to like let it go and let it be what it is. And I'm really excited about it and I'm really confident about it. And I think that everyone's going to love it. And I just hope they love it as much as I do because this was really like, you know, really personal to me. And I think they will. Otherwise, to answer your initial question, I wouldn't feel like it was done. I always feel like an album is done. Like when I'm like, you know what, there's nothing that I would want to change. There's nothing that I would add to. And you can always add to, but like you kind of have to, you have to say, okay, this is the limit. But yeah, you give it to the world and it's everybody else's. It's not really yours anymore. So.
And I think we're listening to music again. There's a lot of craziness in the world, of course. Yeah. But I think we're listening to music again.
And I think especially in the craziness that's going on in the world, like music brings people together. It makes you feel maybe like you can relate to somebody who is completely different to you because you guys have the same taste in the song or the same taste in music. Right. And I think that's really important, especially in times like this, that we really kind of just use our art to really bring people together. It's needed more than ever.
You going to SuperBowl?
I'm not going to SuperBowl. Yeah,
Bad Bunny at SuperBowl. I'm going.
I wish I was.
I got a great seat though.
Oh, I'm happy for you.
At the house. Oh. Man, I got a very comfortable couch. I got a
me too. Me too.
And I can get up and go to the restroom. I can pause and I can, and I'm not a sports guy. Like when it gets here, when LA's in, then I'm LA. Yeah. Super LA.
So are you sad that the Rams didn't make it?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
So I don't know much about American football. I'm not like I kind of just learned the rules, and I don't even know if I didn't even know that there was like two separate teams, like an offensive team and a defensive team. Like that's how much I didn't know about American football in the slightest. I know a lot about what I call football.
Yeah. I knew you was gonna say that. The real football. No.
But I didn't. Yeah, I don't. I've only just kind of started learning about American football. But I have always watched the Super Bowl, obviously for the main performance, the halftime show. So I will be tuning into Bad Bunny for sure.
Yeah, man. When they announced, we was like, oh, that's dope. Hell yeah.
And he just won Album of the Year. It's a big time for him.
Did you go to the Grammys?
I didn't go. No.
Right.
No. I went to a few events. Like in the week.
Right. Just some of the events.
I didn't go to the actual.
Those are long days, huh?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
They are.
You're like, if I don't have to
They
go.
I mean, yeah. At the end of the day, they're always great to be in those type of. It's always great to be in those type of rooms
Right.
because you're with your peers. You get to celebrate people. You get to be around, just a whole bunch of music and a whole bunch of creatives and a whole bunch of great people. But they are long days. You like really have to. Me personally, I really have to like gear myself up to be like, cool, I'm outside.
Where's your Grammy at right now?
My Grammy is I have a shelf of all my awards and it's sitting right at the top.
Damn.
Is it like in a room?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. That's crazy because I don't know if you say, man, I want to do it for a Grammy or even as a kid, like, and there's dreams, but when you get that.
It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different. Like I feel like if we were to say like we don't want the accolades or the nominations or the recognition, I kind of feel like there is truth to that. I don't think a lot of us make music or do art so we can say, oh, by the way, I won a Grammy.
Right.
But it is lovely, obviously, to get that recognition. And now that we're talking about it, I'll talk about it because one of my fellow R&B girls, Kehlani, just won her first 2 Grammys after years and years and years and years and years of putting in some hardcore work. I toured with Kehlani. That was my first tour I ever went on. She took me on tour with her in 2017. This was like right before Boot Up took off, and she was Grammy nominated around then. I think I think her first Grammy nomination, if I'm not incorrect, was 10 years ago. Yeah. So now that you look at that 10-year path and what we were saying about the journey, and they had to give it to Folded. Like she absolutely had the R&B Song of the Year, and it's just so great to see. And even for Leon in his breakout year, who's been working so for such a long time and is now being recognized for it. And I just think that, like you said, everybody is really like, it feels like everyone is listening to music again, and especially R&B music. I'm really like happy that R&B music is having the resurgence, in my personal opinion, that it's having, because we've been here and we've been doing it. And I'm just, I'm happy for all of us, because them winning is a win for all of us.
Yeah,
like,
man. And that's why I'm saying people are paying attention again.
Yep.
Anything?
I just wanted to say that 100 is one of my favorite songs so far from the 3 that have been released on the new album. But I did want to talk about how earlier you mentioned that you're a private person. And I was wondering if, like, sometimes when you think about putting something out, do you get in your head because you are a private person?
No, not so much. And I'll say that because what it is that I want to put out, I put in the music. So like I'm aware that like I have to. I mean, going into the studio for me is like almost kind of like a therapy session. Like I get to like release my thoughts. So like unless I'm just gonna go into the studio and I don't know, write about the car that I saw driving past me,
I'll go
or like
bippity-boop.
or like what I had for lunch, which could also still be cool. I'm aware that like I have to actually pour myself.
Would you think about doing a song called Chewed Up?
I really thought you were going to say, like, I thought you were going to say something so serious because of the way that you just went.
Yeah.
This is genius.
Okay, go ahead.
No.
Okay, but go ahead.
But like, I'm aware that is the music that resonates the most with people, because the music that I grew up on was people going in and really telling, like their story. So I think I kind of toe the line on like being able to give enough, but not having to put everything out there. You know what I mean? Because even just me as a person, like, and if you ask any of my friends or my family or people that really, really know me, I'm an open book to them, but I'm still like pretty reserved.
Right.
So yeah, I don't get nervous about it. I think you even with social media, you can give people, like our social media is like highlight reels of our life, right? People aren't posting it. Well, some people do post everything, but I think I think I like to put it in the music and let the music
speak for you and just like what you want to put out there for people to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If that answers your question.
That answered my question clearly.
Ella Mai, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
And God willing, we'll see you again.
You see me again.
Yeah, okay, cool. That was a question mark. God willing, we'll see you again. But you're always a pleasure to have in the neighborhood.
Thank you. I'm always excited to come up
here.
here.
You have great energy too.
Thank you.
You have great energy, man. Thank you so much. And I wish you nothing but more success. And I don't mean success as in just life.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
Amen.
And I can pretty much say congratulations on the new album as well.
Yes, it's almost here. Yes.
Yeah, man. And congratulations to Mustard as well, man.
Yes.
And Mustard had I
He
can't
just,
even
he
say
just
hell
won
of a
another
year.
Grammy for
Yeah,
TV.
yeah. Where's his fucking Grammys at?
Who knows?
His Grammys are next to his Grammys.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
basically.
saying? Like,
Basically.
have you done your accent for Ella Mai yet?
Oh my God, don't make me do that.
I was actually surprised you haven't done it yet because you always do that.
I got so much backlash on the last one.
Really?
Oh my God.
That's why I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, you know what I got backlash for when I was talking to you about
bread.
American bread. Oh my God, everyone was so mad.
Man,
I'm like,
you know what it
guys.
is? Everybody has this outrage.
Yeah.
There is an
God.
outrage, and even when you said that, bread from from
It's bread. What are we really like?
But it was just-
why are we mad?
Yeah, real shit we should be upset with.
Exactly.
We tripping off of who got the better bread.
We don't care about the bread, girl.
Yeah, man,
I promise.
And people was like, man, you better not let her back up in there. She dissed American bread.
I'm surprised you didn't have a whole bunch of bread on the table waiting for me.
Well, we were, but you don't like it. We got more with Ella Mai in the neighborhood, Big Boy's neighborhood. Yeah, the bread shit.
Oh my God, they were so mad. They
What
were
the
mad
fuck?
as hell.
Like,
I was
how,
like, it's
how fucking fucked up is your life
To be
that
mad
you're
about
mad
some
at
bread.
bread? About your preference. Like, so now are you supposed to come back and be like, you know what? I was wrong.
no, I said
Y'all
what
bread
I
is
said.
better. Do you
Thank
still love me as the new project, man? Make sure you
Yeah.
guys go on and get that however you consume or
Yes,
get your music
absolutely.
now.
Thank
my
you
love.
for having me.
Thank you, Ella Mai, for coming
Thank you
into
for
the
having me.
neighborhood. Big Boy,
Big
the neighborhood.
boy.